morning, everyone. How is everyone doing this morning? I hope that your day is off to a wonderful, fantastic start. If this is your first time here, hi. My name is Carrington. Not your first time here, hi. Welcome back. If you enjoy any and all things makeup, you're definitely going to want to go ahead, hit that subscribe button, click the little bell so you can be notified of all my future uploads and so you can join this dumpster fire. Also, don't forget to follow me over on Instagram. I'm going to be working on trying to post on there 3 times a week, so that is a goal. So definitely go check me out on Instagram, and let's go ahead and let's dive on in. Okay, I had to adjust my camera setting. I just felt like it wasn't looking as good. Okay, but anyways, we have so much to dive into today. This is mostly drugstore. I have a couple high-end products and a couple indie brand, but for the most part, it's all drugstore. So for today, we have the Uoma by Sharon C Prime to Glow Skin Perfecting Illuminating Primer. We have the L'Oreal Skin Paradise Water Infused Tinted Moisturizer. I have the ELF, what are these called? Glossy lip stains with some lip liners. We have the Persona Cosmetics. This is the bronze stick. Then I have this from ELF. This came out a while ago. This is the ELFXJenn Atkin. So it's got like a bronzer, a highlight, a blush, and then it's got like some eyeshadow. So I figured we would try maybe like a couple things out of there. We have a Wet n Wild loose highlighter, a Milani Cheek Kiss Eye Cherry-ish You. This was with their like cherry collection. This was all that was available when I went. So we'll be testing that out. Here is the Wet n Wild Hello Halo Liquid Highlighter. We'll see how that goes. And, oh, 2 more things. So we will be diving into a couple things from Sugar Drizzle. So the first thing is this like really cute pig palette. And it's like a very cute like little blush palette. It kind of looks like some of these might be like bronzer-esque type shades. But yes, it is all blushes. And then also from them, because I want to use the mattes in the Jen Atkins to kind of create like a neutral type look. Because then I want to dive on into this Gnome Chrome Halloween eyeshadow palette, which has so many cute different shades. You've got some duochromes, you've got some just like plain shimmers. Like there's like so many options in here. I literally cannot, and they feel so soft and creamy. I mean, look at that. Beautiful. Why did I wait so long to try this? What is wrong with me? Carrington, you idiot. Look at those. Okay, so beautiful. So if you guys are excited to see what kind of look we create, then definitely keep on watching. All right, so here is the inside of the palette. I feel like we could create something really nice and smoky. I'm gonna start off with the shade right here. None of them have shade names, so we are aware. And start seeing if we can get a little bit of a transition going. It does provide a little bit of color, just not a lot. Alright, so it creates a little bit of a transition, not much. But next we're going to go into the shade right next to that, and we're just going to put it slightly a bit lower. Okay. I feel like this shade just doesn't have a lot of pigment. I don't know if you can even get this palette anymore, truthfully, but if so, I will link it down below. But I just feel like it's not coming out as dark as I was really hoping for this look. Let's see if we just like pack it. What happens? I don't really know it's doing too much either. Okay, well, let's see what happens when we go into that third shade. Let's just see what happens there. I mean, it adds a little bit more, but it's just not near as deep as the colors look in the pan. And I'm going to be honest, I know this came out like a while ago. I bought it when it was on sale at Ulta like 6 or 7 months ago. but I don't remember anybody ever talking about this palette. Is the reason nobody was talking about this palette is because like it's trash? Like, is that what the issue is? Like this, like the pigment is just, what you see in the pan is not what you get on the eyes. You get a much softer, lighter version. And I'm not really opposed to like lighter, softer shadows, like by any means. I think for me, it's just that like even as I'm building, because I'm going in with multiple layers, it just doesn't feel like it's just really building up like I would like it to. So I think that's just kind of like the disappointing quality for me with this palette. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm gonna go into the outer corner with that darkest shade, and let's see what we get here. Here's the thing, I really wanted this to kind of be just like dark and smoky, because I kind of wanted to go in with like a couple different shades from that palette, and I just feel like we're not getting anywhere. Okay, I think we're getting a little bit, so this darker shade really does build up very nice. I feel like the first shade did provide some pigmentation as well. I think for me it's the two like middle shades where I was just kind of like, what are we doing here? Okay, here's where like the fun happens. We have all of these like very pretty shades that I am in love with. Okay, let's go into the shade Everlasting Gnome, which is kind of like this really beautiful, just like duochrome type shade. Okay, let me see if maybe like a wet brush, like a brush might pack this on better, because I'm here to tell you, it's not really doing much with a finger. Is a wet brush the way to go? Is that like what we need to be doing? Just like a wet, nice wet brush. Trying to see if you can see the shift or not. Okay, so for future reference for anyone that is wanting to use this palette, a really good packing brush that's nice and wet works so much better than your finger. So this is definitely very grunge. So I think I want to go into the shade. Let's do Witch Please right here. I'm going to take some of that on my finger and just lightly kind of start tapping over that. Just so it's like, I don't know, a little bit like more of like a grunge instead of like neon type green. Oh yeah. See, this one applies really good with a finger. It's something about like the Everlasting Gnome, just like how it's like pressed. It's very hard pressed in there. But a wet brush did fine. But I mean, like, do you see just like how much more grunge it looks? So beautiful. All right, so now we're gonna move on into the priming of the face. So I'm going to use this Uoma by Sharon C. Beauty Tinted to Glow Skin Perfecting Illuminating Primer. So this you can actually get at Walmart. You know, I think for like how much drugstore makeup is going for now, it's kind of equivalent to the prices of that of like NYX. If you were wondering, that's kind of what it's priced at. Oh, this came shooting out. Okay. Let's just work it into the hands and start working it on the face. I don't really notice much of a scent, truthfully, but I do notice that glow. Like, that's a really nice glow. It's hydrating, but it also kind of has like a little bit of a tack to it as well, which I think is really nice for making your makeup really last and stay. But that glow is really nice as well. I really like the glow. So next up we have this L'Oreal Skin Paradise Water Infused Tinted Moisturizer. Don't know if we should shake it up a little bit. Put some on the back of my hand. Okay. This is in shade One Fair. This looks, ooh, that looks yellow. That looks real yellow. Ugh. That's what I'm talking about. Drugstore brands and like having a good like shade range feels like it's like pulling teeth. I don't know. It provides a very light coverage. You know, it's a tint. So I will say it provides, you know, more coverage than some of the tints I have, you know, experienced. But I don't think it's bad. Okay. Well, it is not... I think it provides some like okay coverage, but I just feel like it's very heavy. Like, do you see just how heavy it looks everywhere? I don't know that I love that per se. Next we have this Persona Bronze Multi-Stick in the shade Dune. This was like the lightest shade that they had. Not bad shade match wise. I feel like this is going to be like a very warm bronzer, which I think I've heard that. I think I've heard people say that it's just very warm, no matter what shade you get. I don't know. I'm just going by what I hear. I don't really know. Oh, wow, that blends out. Wow, that's like, it just like blends itself out, really. I mean, really, it just blends out so effortlessly. You know, do you ever just like buy products, forget about it, and then you test them out and you're just like, why did I forget about this? Or how did I forget about this? I mean, obviously it's easy to forget about makeup because just so much is being pumped out. That can be hard. Like, wow. Next up for cream blush, we have the Milani. I have used these before. I have not used like this cherry shade before. Well, that's definitely very, very pink. It blends out nicely, but like just pink. Like that is just, that's pink. Pink, 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 pink. Very pink. Oh, was I expecting that? I mean, I guess I should have expected that, but like also I didn't expect that, clearly. So next we have this Wet n Wild Mega Glow Hello Halo Liquid Highlight. For my skin, I mean, even though like it looks like the foundation and stuff looks like a little bit heavy, I will say, it's a little doe foot. Interesting. I will say though, it is like just like the glow is really nice. Is this a looking shift? Does this have a? I think this has like a pinky purple shift, but like in the tube it looks like very. Maybe you can kind of see it, but like in person, like it just looks white, and that is obviously just like not the case. Okay, so let's just dive back into this ELFXJenn Atkin. Little face palette. I'm going to take some of the bronzer and just start lightly bronzing my cheeks ever so lightly, because I don't know how dark this is. So now we're going to go into one of these really cute little blushes. I think I want to go into this one right here, which is called I Want a Cookie. Now this has me like thinking, you know that book, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie? But is there one about giving a pig a cookie, or maybe not? I don't know. Just ignore me. Just over here. questioning my existence. So this is like a very like light neutral kind of a pink, which I think goes really nicely with this. Just whoop, I went to the wrong shade. Of course you did, Carrington. Of course you did. But it's just really nice and just like very soft. It has, I see one maybe that might be like a shimmery blush, which is this. But I think for the most part, this palette is pretty matte. But I just love just like how like, just like a natural flush that gives. Like, it's very pretty. So next we have this Wet n Wild loose highlighter, and I'm so lit. All right, listen. Do you guys remember trying out that Glam Light highlighter? That was intense. So let me see. Ah! I always get too much in the cap. I feel like that's always my issue. So I'm going to take some and kind of dust it off a little bit, and then we'll just kind of go here. Yep, it's another intense one. It's another glow. We are stopping traffic and all airplanes. I want to think about like lower lash line. So I think I'm going to start in like that deepest, darkest shade and just like smoke that really close to the lash line all the way across. And I'm just going to take those two center shades and just kind of mix and marry them together, and we'll just start to just smoke it out underneath the lash line. Then we're going to go into the Gnome Chrome palette again, and I want to go into this shade right here called Beautiful. It's like a very topperish type shade, but like it's, I think will be perfect for the inner corner. Oops. Well, oops. Happens to the best of us. Yikes. Alright, so I have already swatched out the lip liners versus the glossy lip tints. So here we have soft pink, coral, light brown, deep brown, and red. And then here on the lips, we have fiery red, we have coral, we have soft rose, we have beige, we have sienna, and then we have cinnamon. So here are all of the lip options. I think I'm going to take, let me find it here, the deep brown. And the little applicator is kind of like a little like triangle. And just start lining my lips. Alright, so upon first impression with these is it takes a lot of building and a lot of layering to even get to this shade right here, which I felt was a little bit excessive. Okay, so then we're gonna go into that Power Mauve shade, and we're just gonna lightly put that in the center. And just kind of blend it out with my finger. So here is the final and completed look. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. How do you think it turned out? Did you like it? Did you not? Let me know all of that down below. Let's go ahead and let's talk about my favorite things or my least favorite things up to my favorite things, so you guys can know what might be worth your money and what might not be. All right, starting off at the bottom are these lip liners. Personally, I don't really get why, so you have like this triangle. I think that's fine. I'm personally not a huge like triangle type person. I like something that has a little bit more of a point to it. But my issue is just like, even just like swatching, it just doesn't swatch. You literally have to sit here and just like build it up to get to that pigmentation. And I just have other lip liners where I'm not having to really have to sit there and build and build and build. If you like something that is very light and soft on your lips, like maybe you're just beginning the lip lining kind of phase, I think maybe you might like those. But for me, I already know what I like, and that's just not one of them. So then next is going to be this L'Oreal Paris Skin Paradise Water Tinted Moisturizer. This is okay, but for this to be like, it's supposed to be like water infused and like hydrating, it just feels and looks really heavy. And even with my powder that I can use for almost anything and it doesn't look good, it looks really nice and flawless, wasn't the case with this. This was just not a fun formula to play around with. Maybe I need to be a little bit more hydrated. Maybe it was the primer that I used. Maybe I needed a more hydrating primer and pore filling primer for this to look better. Maybe I need to go in with a lot less. I don't know. Definitely what I need to play around with, but for right now, just not my favorite. Next up is going to be this ELFXJenn Atkins palette. Okay, the issue with me lies in, this is for like, I'm pretty sure the lightest skin tone, but like this highlighter, that is going to be way too gold for me. And you can barely see it anyways. I thought the bronzer was decent, but like these eyeshadows, like I wanted something really nice and smoky, and I figured I could get this, but like these two shades right here, literally they looked the same on the eyes, and it's like I barely got any kind of payoff. With this shade right here, I got a little bit of payoff, but again, you know, it's not a shade that's really going to give you something smoky. I thought this was like, you know, decent, but again, I'm just not wowed. I'm not wowed by this. I think this was like $10, $15, something like that, like originally. I got it on sale for like $5, and I think like maybe for $5 it would be like okay, but like for the full price I would not pay for that. This is just not good quality. I know e.l.f. can make better quality than that, and that just wasn't it. The next thing is going to be these like little lip stains. I think they're nice. They do feel nice and glossy. I don't know, it just kind of gives you like a popsicle kind of effect. It's okay. I don't know, maybe that's just like not something I'm into. Like I really just like liquid lipsticks, or just regular lipsticks with a gloss or something. I don't know, I just feel like it's just very light and soft. I don't know, and I thought like the color selection versus like the lip liner selection like didn't necessarily really go. I don't know, it was just like okay, like it's not something I'm like hyped up and wanting to use all the time. The next up is going to be this Wet n Wild Mega Halo Liquid Highlighter. So this actually showed up really nicely on my skin whenever I was using like just the cream products. I thought that was really, really nice. I think the reason for me why it's a little bit lower is I guess I just like didn't realize this has like a pink purple like shift to it. Like when I look at it in person, it looks almost kind of like an icy white, but then it does kind of like on camera, it still kind of looks, yeah, you have to like hit the light for it to see like that shift. So maybe I just didn't see the light, but I thought it was really nice. Like if I was ever going, like wanted like a pinky purple shifted highlighter, which on occasion I do, but in like a liquid form, I think I would reach for that. But it's definitely not going to be something I'm reaching for a whole lot. Next up is going to be this primer. I actually really liked this primer. This gave a really nice glow. Didn't provide a whole lot of hydration, but it did again give a glow, and it kind of left a little bit of a tack, which I sometimes really like for my primer, so that way I know it's going to like make my foundation really stick and stay. So overall, I really like that. I just like some of the other products more. Then next up is this Wet n Wild highlighter. I mean, like, just look at this. That is so beautiful. The reason why it's probably not reaching higher is just because I'm not really reaching into like loose powders a whole lot. Just because truthfully, I just like a pressed powder just a little bit more, even though the loose ones really do give you like that bam, that shine. Like that Kellogg's one, that was a lot. That was intense. Just like something like that, I think I would just like, I just like press ones just a little bit more. They're not as hard to work with. They don't get everywhere. But I think overall, it's a very beautiful, nice, icy white highlighter. Definitely an amazing drugstore find. Next up is going to be this like little Milani cheek highlighter. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. It was definitely very, very pink, like originally starting out, but it blended out beautifully, phenomenally. Like, I mean, honestly, I just took some on my sponge and was able to blend it out amongst both sides, and it looked really, really good. It looked like I had just like a little bit of a sun-kissed flush of tint on my face without actually being in the sun, so that's plus. So I really did like that. I didn't think that was bad. Next up is going to be the blush palette from Sugar Drizzle. I think these are really, really beautiful blushes. You have, you know, those more colorful pops of color, more intense type shades kind of at the top for those that may want color or a time when you want color. And then down below is definitely here are just some of those like more natural, neutral type shades. So I like that you get like a variety. You get something that you can use every single day. And then I like that you have those pops of color. I like that it just like applies very, very beautifully, very seamlessly, very effortlessly. You know, it looks just like very, very soft on the skin. So I really do appreciate that. In second place is going to be this Gnome Chrome palette. I think this is super, super beautiful. I just really struggled with this shade right here, this Duo Chrome. I really had to go, like I was not like successfully just like on a finger, like it looks like it's going to last. But then when I was trying to put it on, it just wasn't working for me. But a wet brush did work. So I'm glad I found something that like I could get it to work with. But I personally like applying my shimmers with a finger. And I feel like for, you know, I don't know how the rest of these shades are going to like look as well. So just for me, you know, and also it's just like a companion palette, and I'm just not like huge into companion palettes. I usually always forget to use a companion palette. Like that's how bad I am at this. And so like it's just not something I feel like I'm just like going to kind of forget about it. But I feel like that green that we put over the top, absolutely beautiful. There are some really beautiful shades in here. There are some topperish shades. There are some shades where I can kind of see where I'm going to have to use a wet brush to really get it anywhere. But overall, I think it's really good. It's really decent. And then the very like top thing for me was this Persona bronzer. Like this seriously glows on, very nice and emollient, and then just blends out like effortlessly, so easily, and it just leaves like this very sun-kissed type look. It's definitely not a contour shade. It's definitely like, it is like a very warm type shade. But I think for the summer, like that is really nice, especially if you're just doing like all cream products and you just want something that is a little bit more bronzed and not quite so contoured. I think this is great. I really like that. And again, the blendability, like I was just amazed at how fast I could blend that out. And it looked like I had spent forever blending. It just looks so effortless, flawless, sank into the skin. That was a really good product. I'm so disappointed that I'm just like now trying it because that is so good. All right, so that is it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, hit the bell, and don't forget to follow me over on Instagram. Let me know what you guys think down below of these products, anything you've tested, anything you haven't, anything you're going to pick up. Let me know all that down below, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye.